My team and I were given the opportunity of a lifetime. The chance to work with Mark Rober on the most amazing project of all time. We were on a huge time crunch and had practically no time to do this project in. And along the way, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Whoa, why did you lose so much? That was weird.
That should have fired. After everything that went on, in the end, we almost lost it all. This story begins more than 10 years ago when I found the fantastic world of Nerf modding. The hobby modifies, 3D prints, and builds all kinds of custom blasters. And then we get together and use these blasters in games, events, and tournaments. I became obsessed with tinkering and making things. I spent hundreds of hours building a design that I now call the Infinite Pack. It's this insane ball feeder that can feed 20 rounds per second into a blaster. This design was crucial to the build, and it's ultimately the reason we got this game. CrunchLabs wanted a tank for this epic finale in their Nerf episode of CrunchLabs Summer Camp. Have you ever seen those YouTube thumbnails where there's a Nerf blaster and a bunch of darts all over it, but when you click in, none of that actually functions? We pitched 3 modular blaster systems that look like that thumbnail, but actually work. Our 3 systems included rear missiles, some side cannons, and a front main Gatling turret. The rear fires giant pool noodle missiles in rapid succession. These launchers are going to be made out of some reclaimed air tanks from vintage Nerf blasters. The side cannons each fire 12 blue Mega XL darts at once. These are essentially homemade PVC t-shirt cannons. The front Gatling turret is the ultimate beast of a blaster. It's a quad barrel, full auto monstrosity connected to 4 individual infinite packs. The pack has a blower and a motor that feed down a hose connected to a pair of flywheels that launch the Nerf balls. And the coolest part is all 4 of the front barrels rotate. While sitting in the tank during the actual episode, we imagine it's just going to be chaos everywhere, and the operator, Mark, has got to both drive and somehow fire. So we wanted the control box to be very simple. It's got 3 buttons on it, really obviously color-coded, and each one fires an individual system. This meant it was time to break out the Arduino, some custom code, and a bunch of relays. I'm 4 days in on something that should have only taken an afternoon. Someone more familiar with this probably could have done this in less time, but it didn't help that the original relay boards I ordered were essentially paperweights. After ordering a better quality board, I finally have it up and running. Nice. We opted to use a lot of these awesome little Wago connectors for much of the build. Normally I'd have a soldering iron out all day, so these save a ton of time and hassle. My code is finally done and ready, and my sequences are good. One button individually fires the side cannons, while the other will start the rapid fire sequence for the rear missiles.
Now, when looking at the Ragefire, we noticed that the assembly that rotated the barrel was located behind the firing mechanism of the blaster. We thought about moving it forward, but I just wasn't sure that it would still function the same as it does stock. What this means is we had a lot of trimming to do. Moving on to the missile tanks. Luchathor has a lot of experience with working with these old pressure systems. The tanks needed to have a new valve put on them and also check for leaks.
Titan tank, no rattle. This tank, awful sus.
Not a huge improvement, right? Though that was only 50. Should we retry 60?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. I'd say that's about perfect.
I'm gonna stop because I want to hear for leaks. Yep, we got a leak. Yeah, so we might as well fix that before we move forward. I'm gonna go mix up a glass of water with some soap in it. I'll be right back. You see it? Right here?
Oh yeah.
One of the posts. So I don't know if that's an actual bad Titan tank.
They're all fully pressurized.
Yeah,
though.
they stay pressurized. I just don't know how long Mark's gonna be driving around and doing stuff until those get launched.
Tell you what, charge them, then we're gonna unplug the LiPo and let them sit for like half hour and then we'll see.
To make our missiles, we used pool noodles, foam floor mats, and hot melt glue. We created a few 3D printed jigs to help cut out the missile fins and tips.
Dang it. So I got a little bit of a problem. Every single one of these tanks is leaking at the same spot. We're down to like 5 days left, And this is not what I expected to spend my time on today. Essentially, I ordered a bunch of different pipe dope and other options that are stronger to go in there. If I had done one and then found the problem, I wouldn't have done 12 and had to redo them all. All right, so I'm pumping this up to 60. In addition to testing them with soapy water, we're gonna let them sit for a couple hours and we'll check the pressure later to make sure it's going. Okay, firing one. That should have fired. Oh, it was left over on the end of the, this will go. This will go. You know what I'm seeing up here are crinkled darts that are binding. I think we talked about putting some cornstarch. I mean, you can feel it.
Like cupcake liners. Yeah. Put it on the first one for like wadding.
That is a pretty great idea. Oh no, this is the weapon system for that tank. Yeah, so our 3 weapon systems are going on the tank shell that you're all building there. We might have a handful. It just depends on how many. I'm looking at 1 here for sure, and I think we might have a few more. I could probably get you a count to confirm.
So we are, what, last day? This is
the last day of
building.
building.
This is the crunch day for the CrunchLabs project. So my boxes are built.
Yep.
They look, I had to take some panels off, but I'm putting them back on, but they're built. This is still being wrapped up, so I'm gonna leave that here.
Okay.
I should have that done pretty quick. Today's just a lot of testing and then chasing down any gremlins we find.
There's always something.
Yeah.
Give it 1 tap. Do it again. Woohoo! So next up, we have to get all of this into this. We'll see. Over the next 2 days, we drove to CrunchLabs and got quickly to work installing everything on the tank.
As you can imagine, CrunchLabs is a hobbyist's dream come true. They had every single tool, building material, and supplies you could need.
Thankfully, we had complete access to their workshop, so we got right to work cutting, drilling, and installing everything onto the tank. Not only did we fight hot weather while we were down in California, but we also got rained on and off, so we ended up inside and outside multiple times.
The art department had a few paintings and aesthetic touches to put onto the tank before we could finish, and I absolutely loved how this one turned out. I loved the big googly eyes on it. It just kind of took this amazing tank look and then make it fun and friendly.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All guns have been mounted.
Awesome. 6:33 p.m. So after most of a day of wiring and waiting for some paint to dry and going in and out with the rain, we're ready to actually do a dry test, which means there's no ammo in here, but everything is wired, plugged, and installed. This is just a beast. Got our main cannon up front. We've got side cannons that each fire 12 shots, and then our rear missile salvo. Operator sits in the middle here. That's Mr. Mark Rober, and let's try this. I like the sound of that. Those still work? That happened before. Why?
You mentioned being powered through the Arduino, but I don't think it would power all that, did it?
No.
You rotated and brought up flywheels.
Was this moving?
The others, I believe, were moving, yeah.
They were? Ooh.
We spent hours racking our brains on where the EMF was coming from. We tried everything from isolating grounds to separate power sources entirely. Ultimately, I had laid one of the signal wires in the actual control box across the array of relays, which are essentially electromagnets, and that was the source of our trouble.
Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Day of the actual shoot, and we have one tank leaking on the left. It was totally fine. It's held pressure for hours, but rather than diagnose it, I'm just gonna swap it. We brought backups.
And of course, these old Titan tanks, we have a bunch of them, and yeah, I got another leak. So I am also swapping a tank. Once that's out, it's just, are you serious? That's the one?
Yours first?
Yeah. You missed. Ah, shit! you still, oh no, you got me.
All four are spinning. These two proton packs are spinning, but only the one got fed. We switch tanks. Let's switch tanks and start with that.
Okay.
We swapped out the tanks back to 1 gallon, thinking that we were dealing with a pressure loss issue, but it turned out that some of the N20 motors had burnt out and that a couple of the Wago connectors had gotten switched in the wrong orientation. A couple hours of disassembly and soldering later, and we were ready for another firing test. 3, 2, 1. I think that's enough.
One more.
Woo! All right, let's button it up. We drove the tank over to the studio and waited for them to finish filming. I checked the barrel, tested the relays, and nervously did some much needed last minute wire management before the man himself walked through the door.
All right, boys.
Good win.
Thank you. Tell me what I'm looking at here. Here we go. My team just won the Nerf battle, but now I'm about to go out in this monstrosity. I just got the rundown. This is amazing engineering right here. I think my favorite part is I get 14 shots of these guys, right? And that's 3 seconds. How many shots will it fire in 3 seconds?
What'd you say, 120?
120.
120, that's a big number. These poor children have no idea what's about to rain terror upon them.
This project has been months of work between our team and theirs. We had seconds before the doors opened, so everyone did their final checks. You could honestly feel the tension in this room countless hours leading up to this one moment.
Then disaster struck and my stomach shrunk and I froze.
We'll reset quick and we'll be good. Filmmaking instincts kicked in and we immediately got to work on a solution.
Nice, that was a quick reset. Okay, ready?
Where's Mark?
I have no idea where Mark is. Where is he?
What is that?
The feeling in this room was undescribable. It felt like so much pressure being relieved all at once. We truly were in a state of euphoria.
The sound of the rockets firing, the infinite packs going, and the CrunchLab kids having a blast was music to our ears.
Oh my God. Can you see through the crack? Oh my goodness.
So the Nerf battle is over, and the best part for us is that the tank worked. All of the weapon systems are empty, which means everything went off and fired. I am thrilled with how we got here. It was only 2 weeks to build this whole thing, and here we are.
After a successful take, our work wasn't done. The team asked to get the tank reloaded for a thumbnail photo, which got us a chance to get our complete project in full studio lighting. And boy, did this look amazing. Personally, I'm really happy to see this project come all together because at Out of Darts, we included everyone in our team. Everyone was involved to some degree, and it was a really cool thing to see us all come together to make this project and to have everything go out successfully.
We learned so much through this massive build project over a short couple of weeks. We went way outside our comfort zone and had a lot of fun doing so. Sometimes life is just in the doing, and there's nothing quite like a hobby or a project like this to really bring that sense of satisfaction when you get the job done. A huge thank you to my team here at Out of Darts and to the team over at CrunchLabs. Thanks to Bao and Brandon, who helped us a lot on site, and thank you for watching this far especially. Until next time, I'm Luke with Out of Darts.